I'm here with CELLAB5. Alright, so here's my program. This top rung controls the shut, ajar, and open lights. So when both limit switch 1 and limit switch 2 are activated, the shut light will be on, because these are the examine if closed type. When just limit switch 1 is on, the limit switch at the top, and then limit switch 2, the one at the bottom, is off. Then the ajar lamp will be on, because this is examine if closed, this is examine if open. And then when both are off, there will be continuity to the outputs, because this is the examine if open type connection, and that'll power both the open lamp and this bit, which is a requirement for this lab. So this next rung, when the bit from the first rung is activated, then this will activate the timer, which counts to 10 seconds. And then once either the close button has been pressed or the timer done output from this timer, so once the timer is finished counting to 10, either that output or the close button needs to be activated in order for continuity to pass through here. And then the stop button is a normally closed button, so as long as that is not pressed, then there will be continuity through that. Limit switch 2 must be off in order for the motor to go down. Once limit switch 2 is activated, it'll stop the door to prevent the door or the motor from burning out once the door is all the way shut. And then the open button has to be off in order for the motor to go down. Once the open button is pressed, then it'll break connection and stop the motor from going down. And then this input matches the output of the motor. So once either of these two, the close button has been pressed or the timer done, or the timer has finished counting to 10, once either of those conditions have been met and all three of these are met, then the motor will turn on and it'll stay on because this matches the output. It'll stay on until one of these three conditions fails. This rung, this controls the counter, so the bit from before, when that is activated, it'll start the counter, and the bit is only activated when the door is all the way up and the open light is on. And then once the counter, it goes to 3 for 3 cycles, and then once the counter is done counting, it resets the counter to 0, this value here. And then this last rung, this controls the motor going up. So once limit switch 1 and limit switch 2 are both activated, meaning the door is all the way shut, and then this, there will be continuity through that, and then this not equal to part, this is, so when the counter is equal to 0, there will not be continuity through this, and it won't power this timer. But when the counter is equal to any other value than 0, there will be continuity in it, and it'll power the timer. This is just so the timer won't turn itself on before any button has been pressed when the program has first been downloaded, so it won't run on its own. But once both are activated and the counter is not equal to 0, then this timer will turn on. And then once the open button has been pressed or this timer has finished counting to 10, then there will be continuity through this piece or this piece, and then the stop button, same as before, is normally closed, so there will be continuity as long as it's not pressed. Limit switch 1 needs to be activated in order for the motor to go up. Once it is not activated, it'll stop the motor from going up and burning out when the door is all the way up. And then the close button needs to not be pressed, and then the motor will go up. And if the close button is pressed, it'll stop the motor going up, it'll break the connection here, and then make the connection here, so the motor won't be going up and down at the same time. And then this input matches the output, so once either of these have been activated and these three are all activated, then the motor will go up and it'll stay up until one of these three conditions has failed. And then let me run it real quick. All right, open it, and then well, there's that bit that was activated, and then it turns off when the door is down. That's been 10 seconds. That's the first cycle. That's the second cycle. That's the third cycle. So the counter has been reset, and then so it's equal to 0, so it doesn't start this timer and keep it running. And both timers are off. And let me just start it one more time. There it goes.